I was at all soybeans and $150 an acre loss. You're looking at $450,000 of loss for just doing my job. I'm paying an additional $450,000 instead of making anything. I've never seen a crisis like this. Without intervention, we're talking about generational loss of farmers.
In the last year, farm bankruptcies here in Arkansas have nearly doubled.
The tariffs are a problem, but think of it as being in a coffin, and we're going to nail the lid shut. The tariffs are the final nail.
A handful of companies have built a global system in which they always win, and American farmers are lucky to break even.
I need all the farmers for Trump to come to the front of the class, because I hear you're asking the rest of us for money because Donald Trump's tariffs are going to financially ruin you. And what's so funny about that is, didn't Donald Trump and his tariffs bring you to the brink last time? Because he got you into a trade war with China. And now China is basically cutting off corn, soy, all agricultural products, and they're looking to other places like Canada, Brazil, anywhere else they can get agricultural products, and U.S. farmers are the ones left holding the bag. There's a soybean farmer that's been making the rounds here, and he's saying, I voted for Donald Trump 3 times, and I was glad to, and I like his policies, but these tariffs are hurting us, and I need you to stop this, Mr. President. And they're asking us for another bailout, the taxpayers, another bailout because they decided to vote for Donald Trump for a 3rd time. That's a fuck around and find out, my friends. And I'm not here to help financially support these people. They want to bitch and moan, all these people on the right, about people being on welfare and people needing handouts. And farmers, wear those bootstraps that you guys like to talk about all the time. Why don't you find them and pull yourselves up from them? Because we are tired of bailing you out. I understand that if you don't get bailed out and these tariffs ruin you guys, it's going to have a huge impact on the rest of us. But I knew that before the election. I knew that when I was stumping for Kamala Harris and telling people not to vote for Donald Trump. So you're fuck around and find out. I hope it's a little more personal because you guys decided to continue to vote against your own interest and cut off your nose to spite your face. It's time you sit in it for a minute.
Well. You know, we have a whole lot of people on here, dear, across all of the socials that are upset because, well, the FAFO with the farmers and them about to be bankrupt and probably losing their property to JD. But either way, the Red Hats are upset with us today. They say we have no empathy. But it was you, Red Hats, and the GOP crew, including Alonia Muskrat, that said that our weakness, the problem with America, dear, was our empathy. So we decided, just for you guys, to cut ties with our empathy and act more like the GOP. So no, we don't have any empathy for those that got what they voted for, because they voted for less empathy. Remember? Empathy and being woke go hand in hand. I hate to break it to you, but that's how that goes. Yes, indeed. Those who are woke access their empathy. That's how they became fucking woke. So, you wanted woke to go. You had no space in this place for our empathy. So we cut those strings for you, baby. What's the matter? Now you want empathy? Maybe you should have voted for the black woman.
These farmers across Wisconsin, these farmers across America, these farmers who are struggling, they have no one to blame but themselves, so I quite frankly really don't give a damn. Because it's your own fault. You decided, yeah, we want to put that guy back in office. Make that make sense. And now here they are, the poor farmers in Arkansas are sitting here crying. You know, I don't know what we're going to do. I know what you should have did. You should have voted for somebody that wasn't going to put tariffs out there. 77% of farming-led counties in the United States of America voted for Donald Trump. 77% of these people voted for a man who said he was going to use tariffs against other countries, knowing it would harm their communities. 77% of these farming counties voted for a man despite the fact that they had to get a farmer bailout the last time for the first trade war. They still voted for Donald Trump. So when I hear that they are struggling in Arkansas, when I hear that they're struggling in Iowa, when I hear that they're struggling in Nebraska, I simply tell them to look in the mirror and stop begging for a damn handout. Maybe it's time to sell the farm. You right. Maybe the 6th or 7th generation won't get it. And what you should do is you should tell your kids who were supposed to be the 7th generation that mama's a dumbass, that Pa's an idiot. Because Paul decided he wanted to be Make America Great, but meanwhile, the Chinese ain't buying soybeans from us no more because of policies Donald Trump put in. And they voted for it. You don't deserve a bailout. You can't sit here and vote one way, and then when your economy gets decimated, your way of life gets destroyed, you want to pray to God? God didn't tell you to go to that poll and vote against your own best interest. That was your own damn problem. Don't ask for prayer when you block your own blessing.
You want empathy for American farmers while giving none to American workers. You want us to have empathy for those small rural Republican areas that continuously vote against their interests. But you don't want to change your way of thinking. You don't want to open your heart to the idea that this country may not look the way you want it to look. You have lived in fear and ignorance your entire life. You have projected that fear and ignorance on every other community that bothers you. I have lived in rural America. I've lived in Nebraska. I've lived in Texas. I have lived in some of these areas where people like this are all around. And let me tell you something, whenever they are asked to have even the slightest bit of empathy or consideration for somebody that does not look like them, does not speak their language, does not come from where they come from, or does not share in their life experience, they don't give a damn. But time and time again, people like this want to show no respect to anybody, yet demand we respect them. They want to scream that they're tired of woke. They're tired of DEI. They're tired of all of these things that do benefit the American people. But then they also want us to feel bad when those things they complained about take away their resources. You do not get to have it both ways. You do not get to have your cake and eat it too. And you do not get to ask the American people to stop lamenting, laughing, celebrating, commenting, doing whatever they want at your expense when you spent the vast majority of not just the last 4 years, the last 10 years under the Trump era talking reckless about anybody who does not share your world view. You have felt like this was your time. So many of you said this was your time. Donald Trump was going to bring the golden age of America, even though we told you that was never going to happen. It's funny, I don't see you guys who are asking for empathy speaking on what the absolute truth of your situation is. The man you voted for, the party you voted for, the people you put your trust in and your vote behind are directly destroying your life. Not only are they destroying your life, they are telling you it is other people. And even though you can see them making these decisions that hurt you, you still choose to blame everybody else. You won't get empathy. You are not going to get anybody feeling sorry for you in this situation. And that does not make us un-American. It means we are living in reality. And it's time for you to join us.
Thanks for clicking to watch today's video and welcome back to our channel. And so the MAGA farmers voted for Trump in huge numbers, thinking that Trump will protect their businesses, will protect their farms, and of course the policies will favor them. But guess what? They are in their finding out season because everything has gone, it has not gone according to how they expected, and now karma has really hit them hard. And right now they are crying to people, but you know what, people are not hearing their cries. We've prepared this video for you to hear the reactions of people to the cries of farmers, and do not own the rights of the video. They belong to the original owners of the video. Let's dive in and listen to what people have to say. I'll be back with my own commentary. Stick around.
So I saw a video of a guy who was talking about the farmers being upset that the liberals are wishing their demise, right? That we are not caring about their plight. And he made a very valid point, because these are the same people that said empathy is woke. And you know they want woke to be dead. So I don't know. It's like they want it both ways, right? Do you want us to be empathetic with a bleeding heart crying all the time? Or do you want us to be like, we don't care. That's not my problem. I mean, that's what you guys do. But I love that he wrote it in his little blurb. Empathy is woke. So what do you guys want from us? Do you want us to care about your plight? Listen, we care about your plight at this moment because we don't want to see you guys go out of business. We know that you put food on the table, but you're the same people crying that empathy is bad for America. It is too woke for you. So I don't know. It's so weird. You find yourself in a dilemma, don't you? If you see that video, please tag him in my video. Bye.
Hey y'all. So American farmers are now praying, especially in Arkansas. They out here at town halls praying for relief, asking for bailouts, when they're the same people who voted against bailouts because they said, you know, we shouldn't be bailing people out of situations. Now they're on here crying about they're about to lose their farms. And one of the guys, his name is, his page on here is Rolling Homies. He's on a whole tirade, mad at us, and saying, so this is what y'all gonna do? Y'all are saying that, you know, just who cares about the farms because how we voted? It's not very American. Sir, it wasn't very American when you decided to vote against minorities, your wife, your daughter, and frankly, your own damn self. That wasn't very American. You voted for a pedophile, racist, who doesn't care about anybody but lining the pockets of himself and his rich cronies. And what you failed to do is realize that we were telling you what was going to happen, but your racism took place and you didn't want to vote for the black lady. The black lady who had a plan for farmers. Y'all let racism win, and now you're mad at everybody else because you made a choice and you let racism win. And instead of you being mad at Donald Trump, you're coming for all the people telling you, oh, well, this is what you get. And you're in your feelings. This is a classic weak-ass, mediocre white man trope. Y'all sit up here and be in your feelings about shit that you created. You started this. Y'all created this. You and your wives and everybody else that voted for this, because black people overwhelmingly voted for Kamala Harris, who had a plan for you. So while you're sitting up here saying it's un-American to want businesses to fail because what's going to happen is foreign entities, and it's probably that company, I think it's called Acre, land or something to that matter, they come in and they buy up farms and then they resell it. And so you're on here saying, well, you're going to let a company come in and buy American land, a foreign company come in and buy American land and take our farms away. No, you did that, Bookie. You did that, Rolling Homies. You and your homies that you roll with did that when you voted for Donald Trump. And if you want to be mad at anybody, go on over to Pennsylvania Avenue and talk to him. But get off this internet trying to come for us and saying we're going to be sorry when we lose our food. Man, we are losing benefits, people losing jobs, people losing houses, people losing education benefits. People are losing the ability to buy food because they can't afford it. What are you talking about? Why do you think y'all the only ones affected? And the only reason y'all are saying something now is because the trickle has happened and it started to affect you. But you did this, sir. So what I need you to do is have several fucking seats. Go talk to your cronies. Y'all better figure something out. But we ain't got nothing for you. You got what the hell you voted for. And if you're mad about that, you can be mad at yourself. Take accountability. That's a start. That's what everybody else does. Figure it out.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing? You know, guys, I've been watching a lot of videos about the farmers that are crying. You know, they're about to lose their farm. They're not about to pass anything down to their children, and they want the world now. to feel sorry for them. But this is how they voted. They voted to take away everything from African Americans to the Latinos, the Hispanic, the Mexican, the Cuban. They voted to take away health care. They voted to take away SNAP. And they voted for a man with 34 felonies. And they was excited about it. They was happy about it. And now that it's their time, they want the whole world to feel sorry for them. I don't. Like, follow, and share, guys. Have a great day.
Well, well, well. It's Friday, baby, and we do love a good cup of Fafo tea, and even though we've already poured one Fafo today, we've got another cup in the brew via the way of the farmer in the US of A. That's right, they voted overwhelmingly for Daddy Dumpy Pants. See, the Republicans convinced their ass that China was going to come in and swoop up and take their farmland from them. Yes, they've been telling y'all that lie for quite some time. That China owns all of our farmland, and what they don't already own, they're coming for. So vote for me and I will save your farm, baby. And as of today, farmers are finding out that there's no money about. They can't even get a hold of the things that they need to do the farming, dear. Not the workforce, not the fertilizer, hell, not even the seed. And they're looking towards the government and the orange fool and JD too for a subsidy or two. But I encourage you to remember that they took away all your subsidies, dear, when they decided to cut into EBT. A whole lot of EBT subsidies go to our farmers, baby, but they cut those subsidies. So you can ask and you can beg all you want to. What's going to end up happening to you is you're going to be encouraged to go once again to a bank, friend, and take out a loan that you will never be able to pay back. And what you're not going to know, what the bank's not going to tell you, but I will tell you right here, dear, because JD has been doing this for almost 2 years. Yes, JD Vance with his toddler pants and his queer stance, the Maybelline queen, who has future dictator dreams. For over the past 2 years, he's been coming for farmland in the US of A. And his buddy, Peter Thiel, honey, maybe you should look into some of the banks that they own, dear, and some of the banks that they are invested into, and some of the banks that they just might be on the board of, dear. And I want to remind you about the app that JD had out and about, tracking farmland, and encouraging you to sign up, man. Yes, he got all the stats and all the facts and all the data he need on what farms he could buy up expeditiously once they crashed the agriculture industry here in the US of A. So if you're worried about losing your farm today, you can thank JD for that, baby. I don't feel sorry for you today because we've been warning you, the farmer, for years and years and years, baby. The only people who have allowed you to have subsidies and supported you in times of despair were the Democrats sitting up there. But you believed the lie from the fucking orange guy and the Maybelline queen too. So I do not feel sorry for you. They told y'all that they were going to privatize everything in the US of A. They made you believe that that was the way, and you thought it was just going to be the post office, baby, and education and healthcare. You thought the food was going to slip by the orange guy and his privatizing play today. And by the way, it's not even the orange guy that's into this privatization play. That is directly JD Vance and Peter Thiel that want to privatize all the industries in the US of A, including the agriculture industry, boo. And y'all handed it over expeditiously to that fucking faux hillbilly who has never broke his back a day in his life. That is a fucking fact. No calluses will ever be found on that crew. They pay immigrants to do those kinds of jobs for them, and they took the immigrants from you.
Across the country, farmers are crying, and actually in the social media platforms we can see them crying, saying that I wish I knew, they regret their votes, because when they were voting for Trump and during the campaigns, they wore the red hats and they were, they believed in the promises of Trump and his policies. And remember that Trump had displayed his policies publicly, and everyone knew of even the 2025 plan, and people kept on telling them, but they couldn't listen because they wanted to pay their loyalty to Trump because they were his loyal fans. But right now they have been hit by karma because most of them have lost their farms. Most of them have lost even the inherited farms. Most of them have lost their businesses, their health care, their SNAP benefits, everything that they voted for. They have lost it. And they thought that maybe when they vote for Trump, when all that happens, they will be favored. They'll be on the right side. But right now, they are the ones who are facing all these challenges. And this is because of their own votes. And when they are crying on internet, people are not even sympathetic for them. They are telling them, we told you, but you couldn't listen. They are telling them, even if you cry as much as you want to cry, we will not, be sympathetic because of you, because we told you, but you did not listen. Right now, pay the price of your votes. So people are not, they are not listening to them. People don't want to see them crying on the internet. Even some are telling them that stop crying in the internet because we had already told you. So guys, what do you think? Should we be sympathetic to these farmers, or should we just let them face the consequences and the choices of their actions? So guys, drop your comments and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you on our next video.